What the fuck is up, my bitches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. In today's video, we're up close and personal with the new Natasha Denona Glam Palette. So fucking basic. So cool tone, but so good in all the best ways. Oh my god, it looks so incredibly beautiful. I don't have a ton of cool tone palettes, so as soon as I seen this palette, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like it's so basic, but in the best ways. So I need to try it. I was just so excited. And I even have my wedding robe on because I just saw this and I'm like, ooh, this could be a really great palette for bridal makeup. But then I also wanted to pull it out in comparison to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry, the Nabla Cutie palette, and also the Makeup Geek neutral palette. And I also have the foiled shadows as well. So we're going to do some comparisons today. I'm going to do some eye looks. I'll probably do like one whole look. We'll see how it goes. I'm just really excited. I always get excited when Natasha comes out with a new palette. And this one, it just spoke to me because, I mean, if you saw mine and Angie's video about eyeshadow palettes, like you clearly know I am a neutral palette lover. I never realized how many neutral palettes that I have, but I just love them. The packaging on this is absolutely stunning. I did use my other lens today so you guys can get an up-close personal look at what this palette looks like. I just think it's stunning. So you should get a really good visual on the eyeballs today, but this is very true to color. What you're seeing in the, I would say what I'm seeing in the viewfinder, it's very true to the color story. So I've seen a lot of pictures that I'm like, I don't know if it necessarily looks like that. I will say, at least this is in my opinion, I think this looks, it's a neutral palette, but it looks so much prettier in person. That's just my humble opinion. Hello to all my britches in the live chat. The Juvia's Place Taupe palette, I honestly wasn't that big of a fan of that one. Let me actually, I'll pull that one out as well. Hold on, I gotta move some things around because I have that right over here. This is the palette that she's talking about right here. I mean, this could, I didn't initially think of this, but we'll include this one as well. So I'll add this to my thumbnail. Yeah, we'll try that. That was, again, not my favorite. I do think that you have a lot more dimension in this palette, but I mean, we'll see. We shall see. I think this is probably a really good group of eyeshadow palettes. I wonder, I think I just saw somebody say the Urban Decay. Hold on, let me pull it out. These were just the 3 palettes that I thought of initially. So let me see what other palettes that I might have. Maybe even the Urban Decay Original Naked, because this is just a classic. A classic never dies. This is still my original. We'll throw this one in here as well because why not? So this might be a longer video. So before we get into it, if you're in the live chat, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're watching the playback, don't forget that thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on what you guys like to see. That's how I know. That's how I gear the types of videos that I do. So always thumbs up or down whenever you're watching anybody's videos. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because you're watching and 60% of my analytics say that you're not subscribed. 60% of you. My phone's ringing. Oh my God. Of course, it's my mom. Every fucking time that I'm live, my mom is always calling me. I swear. It's like, oh, Brittany's live. Let me call her. Every single time. Okay, I'm going to do the look first, and then we'll get into the comparison. So if you're watching the playback, jump ahead and you'll see the comparisons. I want to do a look first, but I just think this palette is absolutely beautiful. I do have some leftover lash glue from yesterday. Oh my God, it's so funny. Like, I had to laugh at myself. I'm like, yesterday we were doing something super vibrant and just, I did the Be Perfect, the new Carnival 3 palette yesterday, and then we go from that to this. Like, couldn't be more opposite, but I'm so here for it. I'm really excited for this palette. Like I said, anytime Natasha does a new palette, I'm usually really excited about it because I love the formula of Natasha palettes. I don't have a ton of them, but this color story, I'm like, ooh, I feel like it's really different from my collection, but in reality, it's probably not that different because I do have a lot of neutral palettes. So let me pull out, I'm going to put a paper towel on my lap so I'm not wiping my brushes on my silky white robe. I don't know. When I look at this, I'm like, ooh, I think this would be such a pretty bridal palette, especially, or just if you really like cool tones. I'm first going to prep my lids. I'm going to use my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. I can't wait. I should be getting the rest of these in PR because they did just extend their range. I feel like a broken record because I say this in like every single video. So I'm going to prime my lids really quick and then we'll get into applying. So good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I was talking to one of my friends at Marco Polo earlier today. This is my week. I was like, oh, happy Monday. It's fucking Saturday, guys. It is Saturday. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's almost afternoon time. So depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hello to all the britches in the live chat and also watching the playback because I need to be mindful that people do watch these videos when we're not live. Because if you're new here, because I know I have a lot of new subscribers, I do primarily live streams on my channel just because, one, I'm a busy biatch. I'm a busy britch, okay? And then two, I honestly prefer them. I just think they're more fun. They're more interactive. And if you guys have questions or comments, sometimes you gear the video in a direction that I didn't think of. So it's always fun. The live chats are always fun. I know not everybody can spare an hour plus on videos. And that's totally fine. Don't ever apologize if you can't make a video, okay? First thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to set my lid today. I'm going to use the shade Transition. I don't even want to get into my feelings on how Natasha decided to name these shades because I think, okay, first of all, I think my initial thought was, okay, for people that are more of like just getting into makeup, I think this would be a great palette. However, if you're just getting into makeup, are you really going to spend $65 on a cool tone palette? Maybe, but I feel like if you're just beginning with makeup, you're a lot less likely to spend that kind of money on a palette. Let me just be honest right there. This does have more of a tint to it than I was expecting. Like you see that little gray tone right there? I'm not mad about it because if anything, it just helped really define the crease that I'm going to go for. And I'm also using the BK Beauty. This is the 201. This is one of the brushes that's in my bundle currently available with BK Beauty. We have less than a month left and then the bundle will be gone. Well, the bundle will be gone, but the brushes will not be gone. But I've been using these damn brushes for a month plus on this channel. Well, I've been using them for longer than that, but I've been really emphasizing the focus on these brushes for a good month. So if you want to see more videos, I do have a whole playlist of not only my videos, but other creators' videos that have tried this brush collection. Definitely go check that out if you've been interested in the BK brushes. It's such... I'm going to toot my own horn. It's such a good fucking such a good bundle, especially for a Christmas gift or something, because it's coming. It's coming. I see Karen Harris is here. But I can totally see Sephora Sale Associates selling the shit out of this palette. Like one-stop shop. Totally. Especially for holiday. Like I feel like this is such a beautiful holiday palette. Yes, bitch. Totally. I can totally see it. Yep. I totally see that. I'm going to go in next with the shade Crease. This one right here. Like I said, I'm going to try not to pay too much attention to how she chose to name them because I do think that if you are newer to makeup, the names of some of the shades for certain skin tones may be helpful. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Do I think it was smart to name the shades in this way? Not really, just because not like this shade is not going to work for a wide variety of skin tones. Like this shade for a crease will work likely for fair, light, medium skin. But if you get into medium, tan, dark, deep dark, like this is not going to be a shade that you would consider a crease shade. That's just me in my opinion. But that's what we're going to roll with. I'm not going to pay too much attention to how she chose to name the names because I don't think I've heard anything like really elaborating on why she named the shades that she did. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I finally caved in for your damn BK brush set, Britt. LOL. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that has purchased the brush bundle because it's just been so cool. I do want to say, like, if you are a creator and you have used them in a video, please let me know. I know there was a couple people that have messaged me and I tried to find their videos and I couldn't because I couldn't remember exactly because ever since that bundle has launched, my DMs have been like out of control. So it got lost in my DMs because I can't search by like the topic. So if you've added a video where you're featuring them, reviewing them, whatever the case is, please let me know so I can add you to that playlist if you haven't been added already. Okay, these shades, they're blending out perfectly. They're cool tone. They're so basic, but I feel like I don't have a ton of cool tones, or at least like a dedicated cool tone palette. Like I have them throughout my collection, but I was really into this color story. And there's nothing wrong with saying like, hey, I just like this palette. Okay, don't come for me. I like it. And that's the life that I'm going to live today. I like it. So don't hate on me. Okay. Okay. So 2 shades down. So far, so good. I think the main reason I really like this palette is I really thought it would be a great bridal palette, but perfect for every day. Especially, I'm one of those people that heavily associates my makeup with like the time of the year. I think for fall, winter time, a cool tone palette would be so gorgina. I'm totally into it. I want to stick with, what shade do I want to use next? I think I want to take the shade Smoke, this one right over here. This one, it leans, I would say, more neutral opposed to cool tone. And then I'm going to throw this right in here because this is the type of look that I always do. Like even when I do a colorful look like I did yesterday with the Be Perfect palette, I'm using the Sigma E27 because I want this to be a little bit more precise. I like to do a crease, like a transitional crease, and then I build the outer corner, and then I put a metallic on the lid. That's just how I roll. Okay, don't come for me. It's just flattering on my hooded eye shape. So if you have hooded eyes, this is like a little hooded eye tutorial. I mean, these are blend. A blend? What the hell am I saying? A blend. Mark that down for merch. A blend. These shadows, they're applying and blending beautifully. I'm just kind of patting this in right now. And then I'm going to take the deeper shade and put it further on the outer corner. I know some people will just go in with a shade like this. I always build from lightest to darkest. I need to try doing a video where I do my like eyeshadow in reverse. I'm going to take Lash Line and put this on my outer corner. This is where I'm like, okay, I don't understand the names because like, yes, I could use this shade on my lash line, but this is where I would primarily use this sort of a shade is right on the outer corner. That's all I'm going to say about the shade names. And then I'm not focusing so much on the blend on the crease yet. I'm just trying to apply to get the dimension that I'm looking for because I want this to be fairly dark. But this is why I love this brush because I'll actually go in after and smoke it out. So we're going to get like a cool toned, more smoky eye. Relatable eye bridge. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Because I think some people don't realize that I have hooded eyes. So I like to mention it from time to time. Like, I do have hooded eyes, guys. It's a thing. It is a thing. I'm sure there will be another palette this year. I'm very curious if there's going to be another one or not. I would not be surprised whatsoever if there was. But I think this is a great holiday launch, though, to be honest. So I'm going to take that same Sigma E27, and I'm just going to blend this right here. I mean, they're working really nicely. What's the time we're at? 14 minutes between intro and application. I'm not mad at the time frame that this is taking right now. Do I think this palette is anything groundbreaking? No, because it's just a cool tone palette. But I'm a big fan of Natasha Denona's formula for sure. And if I wasn't talking, I would definitely be able to do this look faster. So don't be too mindful about how long this is taking me. Considering if I was just like zoned out in my room by myself, not talking, I could bang out a look like this in like 10 minutes. All right, let's get this blend on. I mean, I think this is going to give you a really beautiful, smoky, cool toned eye. If you're not into cool tones, why are you watching this video? I'm just wondering. Like if you're not into cool tones, which normally I'm not, like if you guys, if you saw my Chantecaille video, that's a perfect example of why I don't typically like cool tones, but these are not performing the same. Like those tones from that Chantecaille, the Safari collection, that little eye trio, those tones were just so unflattering on my skin tone. Like these tones work for me. They're working. They're showing up actually like a genuine cool toned. I'm into it. The blend's really nice. I do have to finesse it a little bit more to get that soft blend, which I'm not mad about. But one thing I do always talk about with like Makeup Geek is I usually don't have to focus so heavily on blending. It's almost like it blends themselves. But she cute. I do kind of wish, this is one palette I'm like, okay, even though I have so many blacks in my collection, I do wish that there was a little, like maybe one less of the lighter shades. And I wish that this palette had a black. Like if this had a black, I would put that right on the outer corner and then really deepen up that outer edge. But this, I mean, this shade's good. This is the shade Lash Line. This shade's good, but I think a black, like this is one of those palettes that I think a black would have definitely been beneficial because this is a palette, it's like it works. I feel like that's the one thing that this palette is missing. Oh, just getting off ICU night shift. Oh, girl, perfect way to unwind. Crack out that bottle of wine. Wind down with us. It's morning time here, so it's so funny. I start nights tomorrow. So yeah, I am having to blend just a little bit more, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad because this would be a palette that I would really want that sultry, cool tone, smoky eye. Obviously, you could do more with it than just that, but I think these layer beautifully. I think that they build beautifully. I think the color story totally works together for a look like that. Like this to me would be such a good holiday look, in my humble opinion. So let's see. I use the dog shears. All right, let me clean off. I'm going to take my Esom W21, but I got like lime green on here, so I do need to clean this off really quick. I'm going to use my Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. I do want to say, before I got started, that's why I was a little bit later. I usually start my lives like 5 minutes after the time that I have them scheduled for, just so I feel like it's better. Like, I feel like people are getting their notifications actually in time for the live when I do that. So that's why I've been like 5 minutes late coming on each time, because I feel like I actually have time to share it. You guys are able to get notified and all that sort of stuff. And I went to go live and my microphone was broken. Is the bundle international? For the brush collection? Yes, they do ship internationally. Looks gorgina. Thank you, Karen. Okay. I want to take, like this shade right here is just speaking to me, but I kind of want to do a lighter. I think I want to use this shade. What do you guys think? I'm thinking this all over the lid. I think it's so beautiful. I just started reading it. Oh, Angie's here. Bitch, I'm here. Heather's here. Oh my God. I didn't even pull up you guys in the chat today. Oh my God. So many of you guys. Oh my God. Heaven Sent Beauty. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. I'm pretty sure the Metropolis palette released towards the end of September. I was on vacation at Disney World and had to go pick it up in Disney Springs. Oh my God. That was like, what palette did I buy? The Huda Beauty New Nude palette. Fuck it. I'm using that shade because it's still calling my name. I bought that palette in Disney Springs and I will keep it forever because of that. Oh my God, that shade's so pretty. So pretty. This is the Esom W21. This is the brush I always use for these sort of metallic. Oh my God. Like these shades on my eyes, I love. Another neutral palette I'm really excited about is Lunar Beauty. I cannot wait for the Lunar Beauty. Oh, let's see. Terry's asking what blush I'm wearing. Fun fact, guys. It's actually, I have Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk #2 medium, the cream blush, and then I have the Melt Cosmetics. And I don't have any bronzer on. This blush, I did a review on it, or it was a first impression. I don't want to call it a review. I did a first impression on that blush and I wasn't really a fan of it. it applies so much prettier without a bronzer for me. Like it doesn't get that funky, like, because I started to look really funky in this area here. It does still emphasize my texture. However, it does look prettier without a bronzer. Okay, I fucking love that shade right there. Love it, love it, love it. Because it's got like a taupiness, it's got like a brown taupiness to it. So beautiful. Bam. What do we think? What do we think of the look so far? I'm into it. I think it's gorgeous. The matte blushes work better without bronzer. I completely agree. No, yeah, I feel like this tone, it's the shade Raw Honey. I think this tone does definitely work better for me and my skin tone without a bronzer. I'm going to take, wow, this is the first one that actually works for what it says. Inner corner. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 207. And I'm going to put this on the inner corner. I'm actually going to put this on my brow bone as well. Oh, that's so pretty. This is the one step, like Shannon, whenever I do a bright inner corner, this is his favorite thing with my makeup. When I have like a really bright inner corner, he fucking loves it. Now, with the pans, I am getting some kick up. That doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't fall out all over my face. I did get a little bit of a fallout with, what shade was it? The outer eyelid. See, that's where like the names, they just don't make sense. Like I did not use that for the outer eyelid. What the hell? Let's see. The matte blushes look like bronzers. I don't think they all do. I think just the way that it translates on my skin, it better serves as that. So now I'm trying to make sure that I'm not wiping my brushes on my white silky robe. I'm here. I'm late, but I'm here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So now I want to take, okay, this is another one that works. Lash line. I'm going to put this on the outer part of my lower lash line. And I'm basically going to do what I did on my upper lid on my lower lash line. And then I'll probably go in with my Wayne Goss eyeliner. And then we'll get into comparisons. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh my God, I should have turned my fan on. I'm hot. What do you guys think of this palette so far? Are you into it? Are you just like, I'm only here for the entertainment because I hope it fails? How do you guys feel about the palette? I personally really like, am I blocking you guys? I really like that Natasha's doing more of these lesser expensive compared to like her $129 ones usually. I like that she's doing these with like the smaller pans and stuff. I really like this. I really like the structure of these. I say that a lot about Natasha. Like I really like how it feels like she's listening to what people are asking for / what people are looking for. So I'm here for it. I'm going to take that Sigma E27 again. And I think I'm going to use the shade Smoke to further smoke out that lower lash line. I thought Britt said something about Lunar Beauty. Yes, they're supposed to be coming out with a neutral palette. I'm not sure when, but I'm really excited to see what they do come out with because that's a brand that I will probably buy especially their palettes. I love the formula of the palettes. Like my favorite palette of all time is the Lunar Beauty. So that's another palette that I'm really excited, but I don't know what it looks like yet because we haven't seen anything else other than like the teaser that something else is coming. And he did say, I'm saying he as in Manny, at least I think it was Manny that said, that the Greek Goddess will no longer be the only neutral palette in the collection. So that tells me he's coming out with a neutral palette. So I'm here for it, naturally. So for being cool tones, like me personally, I have to be more careful with cool tones. These cool tones really do work with my skin tone, in my humble opinion. So, I mean, I think it blends really nicely. I'm going to take the BK 202 brush, and I just want to, because I take my blends pretty far down my lower lash line because I like to cover up my under eye wrinkles just because why not? I'd rather cover up my eye wrinkles with an eyeshadow instead of having them accentuated, because I feel like this just makes my under eyes look better. No sneak peeks yet. I can't wait. I can't wait. And then I want to take a little bit more. I'm going to use that same brush, the 202. This is like my favorite brush in the entire brush bundle. I'm going to take Smoke again because I want to add a little bit more blend in this right here, just to kind of blend that metallic shade with the mattes, because I was seeing a pretty harsh difference between the two. So then I just kind of swipe between each. How do we think this looks though? I think it looks really pretty. Smoky, sultry, sexy. The vibe. Totally the vibe. I'm really impressed with this so far. Granted, I didn't use like a ton of shades, but this gave me the look that I was looking for. I do want to take a little bit more of outer eyelid. I'm going to try this on my finger just to see if it pops a little bit more. But I think it applies just fine with that Esom W21. But I like to try just in case, just to see. Yeah, I think it applies fine with either, because I know not everybody loves to apply eyeshadows with their finger. Oh, yes, that blend. Gorgina. We love it. Hi, Rebecca. What's up, girl? I also need the new Kaleidos palettes that are coming out. I'm so excited. Like, did you guys see Angie's video on them yet? Oh, I can't wait. Okay, let me take, I'm going to do the Wayne Goss, the Essential Eye Kohl Pencil in the shade Rich Hazel. This is going to be the black. Super black. Or no, is this black? There's one that's brown. This isn't black. This is the dark brown one. I'm like, nope, that's not it. The black one is Obsidian. So this is Rich Hazel. It's like a deep brown. And then Obsidian is the black. So you can see the differences right there. And then there's another one that's actually my favorite one. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it's Precious Opal. That's one of the best brown liners. Like these are fucking bomb, and they're only $14. I think I could honestly say that these are the best dark liners I've ever used, between black and brown, because there's two levels of brown. I'm going to say just black and brown. Two of my all-time favorites. Ardent Cyan was my favorite black liner for a really long time, but I don't think you can get that at Sephora anymore. And these are so good. So, so good. Oh my God, this look with lashes. I probably won't do lashes in the video. I'll probably put them on and post a picture on my Instagram. So if you want to see a finished look. And you know what, guys? I'm going to toot my own horn. Did you see my look from yesterday on my Instagram? Because it was hot fucking fire. I'm tooting my own horn on that one. I was so proud of that look. Yes, Wayne Goss, Nico. Wayne Goss liners. I got the bundle, like the whole bundle with the eyeshadow palette. Another one of my favorite palettes. It's so pretty. His liners are bomb. Thank you for liking my Kaleidos video. They release on the 8th. I'm so excited. So, so excited. I'm going to take, because normally I do my liner before I do like my lower lash line. I'm going to take that 202 one more time, and I'm going to take a little bit of lash line and then just blend it a little bit more so the liner blends better with the shadow. Guys, I'm into this. I'm not surprised. Whenever I get a Natasha Denona palette, I expect it to knock my socks off. And for a look like this that's so like sultry and blended, I'm really happy with, first of all, the time that it took me to do a look like this. It looks really put together. It did take me a little bit longer because I'm reading comments, I'm talking, blah, blah, blah. You get it. You totally get it, but it's absolutely beautiful. I do want to take a little bit of inner corner. See, this is like where there's overlap. There's three different shades, I think, there's two shades called inner corner. I want to take on my Rephr 03, I want to take this inner corner up here. I don't like how she did the duplicate kind of names. This one has a more pink undertone, but I thought that this might give me a little bit more sparkle. It's so pretty. I went a little bit too far right there. And then let me take another brush. You know what? I'll just stick with that rougher brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that on my brow bone as well. Because I always like when my inner corner and brow bone, when they're the same. I just think it completes the look. Beautiful. This shade, like I said, it does have sparkle in there. My current favorite brow bone highlighter is Web from the Sydney Grace Mel Thompson palette. That shade's so good. I'm going to take that Sigma E27. This is an excellent brush for blending the crease for hooded eyes because you can just get really nice precision. Bam. That's beautiful. Love it. Yes, I just saw you were live on Filter 50s before I came on. Oh, let's see. Flawless. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. Don't copyright me, Beyonce. Okay, this is going to be the look with the Natasha Denona Glam. You know what? Let's go in. Let's go in. I'm gonna put one of these on my face because I love a palette that gives me options. I love a palette that I could put a highlight shade. I'm going to use my Cinema Secrets so I don't get any darker shades because I'm going to use my BK 202, right? Yes, 202. I don't want to get any dark shades on my face, so I'm going to make sure I clean this off in between. Hang on, I need to add a little bit more. So what I like to do with the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner, I spray the shit out of my brush, and then I'll usually have a towel or a paper towel, and then I just work it off in between. And then you see that? All of the coloring will come off, and then it's dry. The best brush cleaner of all time, in my humble opinion, for spot cleaning. This is a great product for makeup artists if you're between clients and you want to sanitize your brushes. Looks brand spanking new now, don't it? That's what we love. Oh, let's see. Your look is definitely darker than mine, but still smooth. Yes, let's go in. I'm going to take inner corner on that brush because I want it to be precise. And I'm going to put it right, oh, bitch. I'm just going to put it right on that high point. This is why I like this brush for a precise highlight. It does emphasize texture, flat out. But if I'm going out to turn up, I said that about the Be Perfect one yesterday too. Like it just gives a really beautiful glow. So let's do it on the side as well. Nice precise, right on that high point. Can you guys see from the side? My lights always play me. Like I could see it in my mirror what I'm doing, but I want to make sure that it's translating over camera as well. Like this, with this look. Yes, bitch. We love this for my cheekbone right now. But like I said, it does definitely have glitter in it. But I'm not mad about it. Let me grab my Hourglass spray because we'll just spray a little bit more over the top. I think this looks beautiful. With lashes, yes, bitch. We're into it. So now that we're done with the eye look, I'll do lashes after and mascara for Instagram. But let's get into, because I think this is going to be the longest part of the video, is these comparisons between this palette, the Sultry palette, Urban Decay, Juvia's Place, Nabla, Makeup Geek. There's going to be a lot of, I think there's going to be a lot of similarities. The main palette that I wanted to focus on, though, was Sultry, because this is a palette you can't get anymore. And I do think that there are some similarities in here, but do I think they're identical? No. I think, honestly, the main difference between these is obviously the formulas, but Sultry does have the black. That's where I feel like this is missing a black. I would have loved to have seen a black in here. I should have used my other lens for this part. It's okay, though. We'll get through it. I think that there is more coolness, though, in the Natasha Denona opposed to, like, I think that this is still cool toned, but I'm seeing a lot more neutrals, whereas this leans very cool. So that's why I feel like it is a little bit different. So let me start. Let me get this shit out of my way so I don't knock everything over. You get it. Let me scoochie, as Angie says. I feel like I'm always quoting Angie. Like the more that you talk to people, isn't it funny how you like pick up on their lingo? I notice it all the time with myself now. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm in focus for you guys. So I'm just going to look at these palettes and be like, okay, I think these two shades might be similar. Let me swatch them next to each other. So I'm going to take the shade Pearl in the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Again, I'm going to make sure that I'm mindful about how in focus that I am. And I'm going to take the inner corner shade on the Natasha Denona. I thought that these would be very similar, but they're not. This one leans, I think, more white. This one has like a peachy pinkness to it. And in the pan, they look very, very similar. I do think that they both have the like shimmery glitteriness to them, but you can see the tones are not the same. So that's the first one right out the gate. I'm like, okay, they're not the same. I'm going to take Steampunk, which is the shade right here. So this was the first one that I did. There's not a shade similar to Fresh in the Natasha Denona. So Steampunk, which finger did I just put this on? This is going to be Steampunk from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love the formula of Anastasia. And then I'm going to take Center Eyelid, this one right here. It's on the bottom row all the way to the left. I'm going to swatch this one right next to it. They're similar, but they're not the same. I am noticing more deepness in the Sultry versus, I think this one's more gold. This almost has like more brown. This is more gold. Similar, I think on the eyes, you probably won't be able to tell the difference, but they're not the same. That's essentially what I'm looking for is, okay, I want to know if they're the same, and neither one of those shades are not the same. Next one, I'll take Rose Quartz. Ember is not really similar. Yeah, I'm seeing more neutralness opposed to the Natasha. I'm like going back and forth between the palettes. I'm going to take the shade Cyborg. This one like speaks to me. I love this shade right here. I'm going to put that one right there. It's got a beautiful like gray taupeness to it. Oh, so pretty. And I'm going to take this next to this shade right here. This is Center Eyelid. I hope this is helpful for you guys right now. If it's not helpful, please let me know. So this is going to be Center Eyelid. These are not the same. I could already tell. This one's definitely more gray. More gray, more taupe, deeper for sure. Not at all similar. Let me take that shade Inner Corner, which is right next to Center Eyelid. I'm going to put that next to this one as well, but it's not the same. These are not the same, guys. Totally different. I think these two are the closest, but they're still not the same. But those metallics are definitely not the same at all. I do think that the mattes in Sultry are darker than Natasha, and they're more neutral, in my opinion. Yeah, I would say if you have this, the tones are still different. Yeah, like I'm not mad that I own both of them. I think these would actually pair really nicely together. But you see what I'm saying is everything looks more neutral up here versus down here. I'm seeing a lot of coolness in the Natasha palette. So there's Sultry. If there's any other shades that you guys want to see, let me know. But from those shades that I thought were the most similar, they're not the same. Let's see. It's Steph helpful. This is what I wanted to know before buying it. Okay, good. Perfect. That feedback is always helpful when you guys let me know if it's helpful or not, because I can further like direct future videos on, okay, this is how I want to do this new palette, blah, 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 blah. You get it. Okay, so I think we're done with Sultry. This is still a great palette. I really do love it, but it is really hard to find. The packaging on this is fucking fire. It's beautiful, but not the same if you were looking for comparisons between the Sultry. I don't know what I just knocked over. Let's jump to... I kind of want to do this, but I don't think it's going to perform, and I don't think it's similar. Like, I think even if you have the original Naked, the glam is different enough that it would be worthwhile to have both. So I don't think I'm going to do any swatch comparisons to this because this is hella old as well. I just am like, I don't think it's going to perform. I keep this for sentimental reasons. This is probably like 10 years old at this point. So I'm gonna pass on that one. I do think the undertones are very different though. Let's go to Let's go to Juvia's Place. I think that there's a vast variety between these two. And honestly, I was not really a fan of the Juvia's Place because there's not enough depth. Like you get way more depth with the Natasha opposed to the Juvia's Place. Granted, two very different price points. But let me see if there's anything, just looking at them side by side. If I think any are similar, I'm going to go with the one that's on the top left-hand corner of the Juvia's Place. This palette doesn't have numbers or anything on it. So I'm just going to show you based on the ones that I think are similar. I'm going to take inner corner from that second row. This one's a little bit brighter. They're both pretty... Yeah, it's just a little bit brighter. I'm noticing a little bit more like brown in this one here. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I like the Natasha better, honestly, than that one. Just because it's more pigmented. It's not like this one's pretty sheer, but it's got a really nice reflect to it, but I don't think that they're the same. I'm going to take that same row, but the middle shade. These are very, very sheer. Like this palette was not the bomb.com for me. I'm going to take a center eyelid from the second row in the Natasha palette. Like you're going to see, yeah, these are not similar whatsoever. That to me is the closest shade to that one. And then let's take the bottom right. This is another metallic. Can you guys tell that I gravitate towards metallics? If you guys want to see a dedicated video to these Juvia's Place ones, I did do that on my channel as well. I did all three. That shade I'm going to compare to, I think it's similar to Brow Bone, but it's not like Brow Bone is not as dark. This is going to be Natasha. This is the Juvia's Place. They're not the same whatsoever. Not the same. These two are close over here, but still not the same. Like I said, I think you have way more depth in the Juvia's Place than you do with, or no, you have way more depth with Natasha Denona than you do with Juvia's Place. This, like I said, I was not as impressed. The mattes, I think this shade right here, I'm going to swatch that shade next to the crease shade on the top row of Natasha. I mean, mattes are always so hard to see. There's way more pigmentation with the Natasha opposed to Juvia's Place. Don't let swatches fool you, though. Like the Juvia's Place, the blend on those is so nice. But totally different, way deeper in the Natasha. Again, I just think you have way more depth with the Natasha than Juvia's Place. Oh, let's see. I'm really into military green colors right now. Oh my gosh. Love it. FedEx just brought my palette. Yes! I know I forgot to mention like my experience because I did purchase this from Natasha Denona's website. I was really happy with my experience. Everything came really nicely and securely packaged. Let me actually show you that really quick before I do more comparisons. So it came in like a FedEx envelope, but then I love the fact that Natasha Denona palettes, they all come in boxes that also have this packaging around the palette. So that's the box that the palette itself came in. And then I also did get a sample of, I need to get this bronze palette because I think this is so, like the more that I see it, the more I'm like, ooh, I really want it, especially like this shade up here. But I did get one shade as a complimentary gift with purchase. Didn't know I was getting this, so that was exciting. And then the palette itself was wrapped in lots of bubble wrap. And I got this so fast. Like I got it within a week. I can't complain about the customer service with Natasha Denona. I do have Natasha Denona and Sephora linked down below. Those are the two websites I saw it available on. And I believe that it's also coming to Beautylish. And Beautylish is also having a sale right now. If you guys haven't seen it, you can use that affiliate link down below if you want to shop the sale as well. Oh, Heather. Heather, thank you so much for the super chat. Everyone is loving the cream liquid blushes from Rare Beauty. Are you going to try them? Also, you look gorgina. Thanks, girl. I haven't purchased from Rare Beauty yet. I think I'm going to wait for a sale because first of all, there's so many fucking videos on that collection. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, listen, oh, I got a little fallout going on over here. I think that's from when I applied that shimmer shade. I just noticed there was a lot of videos. So I'm like, I don't really think I need to do a video, especially with the amount of large creators that have been using it. I just didn't really think I would bring anything additional that's valuable. It's more of like, if you're interested in it, fucking buy it. It was just something I'm like, I'm really interested to try it. And I was going to go to the store and get it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm very palette happy right now. Like, I'm having a really fun time talking about eyeshadow palettes. So I think maybe during like the VIB sale, I'll try it out. I haven't watched any videos on it yet because like that tells me I'm like, okay, I'm not that interested. I'm very happy with the price point. However, I'm just like, as a content creator, I would rather spend money on things right now that people are maybe like not reviewing so much. Like, I feel like I still have this relatively early. So I know this is another one, like there's been so many videos on it. It's just, I was really excited. Like, that's what I'm focusing on. Like, not only stuff that I want to buy to review, but I'm also really excited about as well. And this was one of those things. So let's get back to some comparisons. Do not wait. Kate the Great, what's up, girl? Oh my God. We shall see. I think during the VIB sale, I might buy some stuff, but like, I'm like interested, but I'm not that interested. I'm much more interested in other things. And then I know a lot of holiday releases are coming up. I'm trying to prepare my wallet accordingly. So let me go to next one. I'm going to do this Nabla Cutie palette. I have to swatch this shade just for you guys because this palette knocked my fucking socks off. Like, don't sleep on these Cuties palettes. This is not comparable to anything, in my opinion, to the Natasha Denona, but I can't not do it. This shade is incredible. Look at that shine. Oh my god. Oh my god. This palette's like $24. I'll pair it next to Center Eyelid. It's not the same though, at all. It's not even close. But the sparkle and shine from this shade right here, like this is a New Year shade. Oh my god, it's so pretty. But I want to pair this one right here because this is another one that really speaks to me. The formulas are totally different between these Nabla. Like, these are so much like more sparkly and shiny than the Natasha. I think Natasha is much more toned down, more wearable. But if you want to blind somebody, like you could even see like the texture of the sparkles in there. It's not going to be like sparkle that's so intense that if it gets in your eyes, it's going to bother you. It's very, very fine. But I'm going to compare that to Outer Eyelid, but still not the same. Like, they're similar, but they're not the same. But you could see definitely the formula and the texture difference between the Nabla. I love this Nabla palette. I think it's so beautiful. I'm going to take the shade Rich Darling. I love the fact that these are like mini 6 pans too. I just love that shit. This is going to be Rich Darling. I'm going to put this one right over here. Like, do you see how pretty these are? Don't sleep on these Nabla palettes, guys. I was sleeping on them for way too long. And I'm going to take Outer Eyelid. This is way more like chocolatey than I think the Nabla one is. Again, they're not the same. And maybe I should pull out Metropolis. I don't think that the color stories are at all the same between this new palette and Metropolis, but I think maybe I'll see some shimmer comparisons. We'll see. But I still think that some of the undertone, like this one, these mattes in this palette are, I would say, more warm than Natasha. Like, I don't know, like the undertones in these cool tones, I think are so truly unique for my collection. Like, they're so much cooler, but for my skin tone, they're like a cool tone that I could easily work with, where cool tones scare the shit out of me because it could look real bad real quick on my undertones. So I don't think the mattes are comparable. Actually, let me take the shade Lash Line compared to Tenebra. These two might compare. Let's try that. We're not judging by how mattes swatch because usually it's a train wreck anyways. The texture of Natasha's is so unique though. It has like that, it's almost like a creamy formula. I'm noticing more like, this is more of like a neutral brown. I'm noticing a little bit more warmth with the Nabla. But they're close. They're close, but no cigar. Oh my God, 154 here and only 100. Come on, britches. Get your shit together, guys, especially if you're watching the playback. Don't forget to like the damn video, guys. Okay. I think that's going to be it for the Nabla. But the main palette that I was like, oh, I definitely want to compare it to was Sultry, but Makeup Geek was next behind that because I fucking love Makeup Geek with my whole life. The mattes are what I'm really looking at. So it's going to be basically like this one row, but I don't think they're the same. Let me try to hold these next to each other without breaking something. I don't know. I think I'm really happy with this Natasha palette, honestly. Like, I'm way happier than I was expecting because the undertones are still, like, the tones are still different. I'm going to take, oh my God, I'm going to try this. I have mine set up just like the Makeup Geek website. I'm going to take Clean Slate, swatch that one, because who cares? Who cares how mattes apply in a swatch? I'm going to take that next to, I'm just going to put Lash Line on there because I don't think that anything else is remotely similar. Lash Line is far deeper than Clean Slate. And then I'm going to put, I think this is, oh, Take for Granted. I'm going to put this one underneath that because I think Lash Line might be more similar to that. But I'm noticing more gray with that shade there. And then let me take Smoke Signal. I'm going to take this one on my pinky. You see how unexciting mattes are? And I'm getting them all over. I think these two might be similar. Lash Line and what was the shade again? Oh my God, I forgot the name. Smoke Signal. I think Lash Line and Smoke Signal are the most similar. That's these two right here. They're pretty similar, but the texture of the shades is still so different. Like, even though I love Makeup Geek, the blend is my favorite thing about Makeup Geek, but Natasha Denona just has like a certain buttery, the texture of her shadows is so incredibly nice. I fucking love it. Clean Slate is such a good shade. Clean Slate is like what I always use for my brows. I wish you could like comments and I mean, I could pull them up on a screen. Let's see. Nabla looks like a slighted red tone. Yeah, I definitely agree. Tracy. Let me pull out my Metropolis. What time are we at? 52? Okay, let's pull the Metropolis out. In summary, I still think that there is something so different about this palette, honestly, than my collection. And I don't have a huge collection of Natasha Denona. So if you're looking for that comparison, like comparing it to other Natasha Denona palettes, I'm not that bitch. So let me pull out, where is it? Oh, I have it still taken out from mine and Angie's video the other day. Let me take out my Metropolis, one of my favorite palettes of all time. Let me just look at it to see if I could see any similarities. But I mean, as you can see, not at all a similar color story. This one's much more warm, very, very fall vibes. I don't see any overlap. Oh my God. So incredibly different. The only shade that I think I see that's remotely similar is like this shade right here in comparison to Inner Corner. Oh my God, this is not, these aren't going to be comparable. I actually think Inner Corner in the Glam is a little bit more shiny. Similar, I'm noticing more pink and more yellow with the Metropolis, which I expected, but you could see right there, see how much shinier this one is here. That would be a great like brow bone highlight right there. But that's the only comparison between the two. Metropolis is 100% so different. So that's not even worth spending time. But Metropolis is such a fucking bomb palette. It's so good. But guys, I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy having this cool tone palette because I don't feel like I have anything like it. Even though it's like it looks so basic and so just, okay, it looks like just another cool tone palette. I do think that there's something so unique about these tones. So I am very, very happy with this palette. The packaging is beautiful. It is that, you know, plastic packaging. You can see the fingerprints all over it. You do have removable pans. So that's exciting for the people that want to consolidate, or if you're a makeup artist or something like that. Let me see. You got a 24-month shelf life on these. They're paraben free, not tested on animals. Keep out of reach of children. You got 15 shades. The total net weight is 19.25 grams or 0.67 ounces. I'm trying to see if there's anything valuable on the packaging itself. Let me look on the box. You do have all the ingredients on the back of the box. So if that's something that you're interested, definitely hang on to your box. You've got all the names of the shades. That's really cool, but they are on the palette as well. There's directions on like how to use the shades, which don't tell me what to do, Natasha. Other than that, the basic valuable information on here is the ingredients if you want to keep it. I also usually keep all of my palettes in the boxes, especially palettes like this. But I like how like the back is like a matte finish, but then the front, it has that shininess to it. I'm really, really happy with the Glam palette. I do also know that this is also coming to Look Fantastic. That's another website I'm becoming more familiar with after seeing Karen's video. I'm pretty sure this palette is supposed to come to that website as well, but I've seen it on Sephora and Natasha Denona. Both are linked down below. The Sephora website is going to be affiliate. The Natasha Denona is non-affiliate. So I have nothing else to say, I don't think. Let me know if you guys have questions before I leave for today. We've got probably 4 more minutes, so let me know if you guys have any comments or anything like that, and then we will be done for today. Oh, let's see. Oh my God, you guys crack me up. Yes, if your critique isn't constructive, please keep it to yourself. Sorry, not sorry. Couldn't agree with that more. Thank you so much for that. It's one thing. Here's like a little lesson. If you're leaving comments on videos, if it's understandable to have an opinion, but like they just said, if it's not constructive, I am noticing I want to go in a little bit more and blend this a little bit. So I'll be curious to see how this wears throughout the day. I am going to keep this look on throughout the day. But yeah, if you're like, it's one of those things, like if you're leaving a comment and you're having something negative to say that's not constructive, always keep in mind that creators are always trying new products. Like I'm using this product to give you guys more feedback. So if it looks bruised on my face, like it's not constructive, it's more of, hey, what's on your face? So maybe you know what it is instead of just saying that things don't look good on my face because it's fucking rude. There's that. Let's see. To which palette is it the closest? I would say it's the closest to Sultry, but it's still not the same, which I'm happy to say that because Sultry is not available anymore. And I feel like a lot of people have like that FOMO over missing out on the Sultry. I think it's similar. I think you can get a similar look out of this, what you would get with Sultry, but I think that there are different undertones. If you don't want someone to say it to you, don't say it to somebody else. Yeah, it's just, I'm all for like constructive criticism. Like, hey, maybe try applying your blush this way or this or this. But there's a very fine line. It's almost like if you're giving somebody a compliment and then you say but after that, don't leave the comment. Oh, Caitlin, I think your face looks beautiful. I mean, always, right? Always. So do you guys have any other questions before we pop off today? Thank you guys so much for being here. I know not everybody has an hour to spare watching YouTube videos, but I really like spending time with you guys, and I really like to give you guys valuable feedback. In summary, I think this is a great palette after using it for my very first time. I think I'll get a lot of great looks out of it, even though it looks like you really won't get a big variety of looks, because that was one thing I was also worried about with this palette was I feel like if you have, it's almost like if you do one look, you do them all. I don't think I'm going to have this because like you have the gold in here, like that gold, I don't know. It's like the undertones are so unique because it's almost like this little quad right here. I think you could get something that would look totally different than this look. So I do think that there is more variety in this palette than I was expecting. Even if I didn't put that outer lid shade on my like inner corner or whatever you want to call this area right here. If I put the shade Inner Corner on that area, I think it would have looked similar, but not the same. I don't think this is like a one-trick pony, if that makes sense. I do think that you're going to get a decent variety of looks for having just like a basic ass neutral palette. I think this would be such a good palette for bridal. Like this would be a palette I would consider putting in my kit. Like the more that I use it, if I was to still freelance, I would consider putting this 100% in my freelance kit. Like between this between this palette and the bronze palette, I think that is an excellent like dynamic duo without having them like side by side. I would be very curious to see like this next to the bronze, just because I feel like I'm going to end up buying that palette eventually because I think it's so pretty. So pretty. Let's see. Oh, my order from Sephora came in. Yes. Oh, let's see. Common sense, lighting, and the fact that Britt doesn't use filters. There's going to be, yeah, like my skin's not perfect. That's why I have the setup that I do. I want you to see what my face really fucking looks like. I don't want you to see something and be like, oh, her skin looks perfect, because my skin's not perfect. Even on my Instagram, I don't filter my face. Like I'll make like my eyes more detailed so they're a little bit more poppy. But as far as like complexion goes, I don't want to alter what the makeup looks like because I want you to see what it really looks like. You know, that's how I look at it. I have to decide if I want to use the Natasha Denona or Urban Decay. The stone palette's so nice. I'm still really, really liking that. Yeah, such a good palette for events. I think like New Year's, I think it would be beautiful. Holidays, absolutely. Let's see. I think the issue with typing is if you don't get the person's personality, so that things can come off differently than you intended. Yeah, I could totally see that, but that's just another thing. Like, be mindful of the things that you say because it is something that people can interpret differently because it is in typing, if that makes sense. Let's see. I know Angie's video tomorrow is so exciting. I think, let's see, what'll be my next video? I think my next video will be this palette, or no, what's today? Yeah, so I think I'm going to do Odin's Eye, the new, I think it's called, oh my God, Angie's going to come for me so hard right now. It's not Elva, it's the Elva. I believe this is going to be my next video. So this will probably be tomorrow morning as well because I start nights tomorrow. But this is the next palette that I plan on playing with. It's so pretty. So pretty. I'm so excited. I'm pretty sure it's the Elva palette though. So this is from Odin's Eye. So stay tuned for that. Monday, I think I'm going to try to do a new makeup releases because I haven't done one of those in a couple weeks now. Let's see. A couple more comments and then we'll pop off for today. Oh, Lippy, I'll do that for Instagram. We're keeping this about the palettes for today. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pop off because I just read a comment. I'm like, okay, we're done for today. Okay, guys, if you guys did like this video, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up or down. That's how I know what you guys like to see. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for Odin's Eye. And then if I don't see you guys for this, I will hopefully see you on Monday for new makeup releases. If anything changes, I will be sure to let you know on my community tab, Twitter, Instagram. I'm all over the place, guys. Just follow me everywhere and you'll be in the loop. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do check out the Natasha Denona palette, let me know. I'm always curious to know if you guys end up picking things up. Be mindful too. There's probably sales coming up or going on for the holiday because it is a holiday weekend. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.